If you're new to the channel, please give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. And I want to thank those who have recently joined. You're getting us almost up to 2,000 subscribers. We will be doing a barbecue sauce giveaway once I get it all bottled, get it made, bottled, and ready to go. So we'll be doing a barbecue sauce giveaway. And I'll explain that to you, how that's going to work a little later on once we hit the 2,000 mark on the channel. For those who've recently found the trucker dog part of my channel from the trucking days, and you're going over to the Trucker 411, welcome to that. Please, again, give us a like, thumbs up, and share it out. And I'm talking about the Trucker 411 Facebook. We really stopped doing content on the Trucker 411 YouTube channel. All of us are in different areas. I think the only one that is over the road still right now is Jay, Chi-Town Trucker. He's the only one that's still over the road. D-Boy Stance is, I believe, local. I am no longer driving a truck. I'm in a trucking office at current. DCI Jams, I'm not sure if he's doing hot shots. And that's pretty much it. So that was pretty much it. So all of us have gone different directions. But if you need content or contacts for truckers, I still have my mentor, Trucker Bill, and some other people to reach out to, Chi-Town Trucker and some other ones. But welcome to this channel. And we're going to just talk about my day-to-day life. And if you want to watch that, that's what you can watch, because that's what we're doing. Anyway, y'all, be blessed. I'm going to tell the story of Stephanie. And hopefully y'all will enjoy it. And it may bless you and help you and grow you. 2 and 2. Peace. Hey, guys. So this video may not go up the day that I actually film it. I'm going to tell you a quick story called the Stephanie story, and I'll tell you about that. But I'm going to show you like some of my preps. I'm going to show you how the kitchen is going. As I said, there's changes to the channel. I'm just showing you my day-to-day life. And also, if anybody got any suggestions. What I found is that when I was doing this strictly as a trucking channel, there were people reaching my background saying, I'm not a trucker. I just watch you because I like you keep it real and you're funny, or you inspire me or whatever. And praise God for that. I'm happy that there's something on here that inspires you. On the community page, I'm going to put up my sister writes prayers every day. And I put that on our Christian page, but I'm going to go ahead and start putting it on here because that's just who I am. It's part of who I am. If that's not your thing, then don't read it. I'm not offended. If it blesses you, then read it, and hopefully it has some impact on your life. I'll be talking about day-to-day things. So like I'm going to take you into the kitchen where I'm working to try to organize a very small space as best I can. I am an urban prepper, and I think if I really look at it, I never really thought about it. I didn't even know it had a name to it. And I guess that's what my grandparents were, because they were people who had supplies of food always. They even grew their own garden and went in the back and had fresh food, which is something else we're going to be doing. I had gotten a mount here, which I show you in part of this video, for the tripod. I had waited on it. I got it. I knew that was part of the issue. I need to get a smaller counter stand tripod, which I'll be ordering from Amazon. I don't know if I'm doing that this week or next week because I got other stuff I'm doing with Amazon. Or excuse me, this pay period, I have other budgeted things that I have for the barbecue sauce, so, and for the channels. So I have working on logos and stuff for one channel, and then in a couple of pay periods, I'll be working on the logo for this channel, and the banner will change and all that stuff will change. And then we'll be getting into t-shirts and some other things that are coming down the line. I'm going to do the first one I'm going to do is the one that Danielle had requested, in honor of her. And then I'll probably the first shirt I'll send out will be to her sister, because I was going to send her one. So instead I'll send it to her sister. And her sister just recently got in touch with me and said, would you like a copy of the obituary? I'm not usually a person for obituaries, but I went ahead and took it because I thought it was, the way they did it, it was lovely, because Danielle was very much a trucker, and she grew up with her father was a trucker. She loved trucking. She was funny because she wouldn't even drive automatics. I'm not driving no blank automatic. It had to be a manual, and that's one of the reasons she didn't like really driving for mainline companies. Plus, I think she could be more of a renegade with the smaller companies. And so she was our persons who had just a couple of trucks, and she would drive for them. Funny, funny, funny. But anyway, amazing lady, funny lady, a good-hearted lady, and take the shirt off her back. And just, you know, just really, really, I miss her. I really do. And for such somebody I knew for such a short period of time, just had a really good impact. I'll be getting into the barbecue sauce. I think I got virtually all the ingredients now. I've got more coming. Tomorrow I'm ordering some more stuff because I need beer for it. And I think I got a couple of bottles of beer for it, but I'm going to order a case because I'll be making batches. And be getting that up and running through the Facebook page as well as here. So we'll let you know when that's happening. The kitchen. So I took you through the kitchen. I'm taking you through the preps, but I want to tell you the Stephanie story. And I want to tell you the prep story. So I grew up, as I told, and I don't know, I think I'm mainly on my Christian channel. I don't think I've shared it on here. I grew up under grandparents who, by all intents and purposes, they would be considered preppers by today's standards. But they were Depression people. They grew up, they were in the Depression. So they were Depression era people. And like the event that happened here, where we didn't have no toilet paper and you didn't have water, and the insanity of people. When the first part of the pandemic and everybody was freaking out and all the toilet paper was going off the shelf and wasn't no flour and wasn't no rice, and wasn't no beans. Me and Joe we went to a Mexican grocery store and we got what we needed in the Asian market, and we were able to get rice and we were able to get beans. But I had some here in the house, and since I'm by myself, but we actually got extra because things were so weird. You couldn't get bleach. I had bleach in the house, but we found more no-name bleach. You get that now. Clorox is on the EPA.gov list as being able to kill the virus. Since then, I have 3 packs, so 6 bottles at 121-ounce bottles of Clorox bleach. I have the Clorox germicidal that you would use in restaurants and hospitals and any kind of business. And then I've got the regular household Clorox, both of which are known to kill the coronavirus. I have not been to the grocery store. So the little money thing that we're doing, I haven't been to the grocery store lately. And the reason is because here in Arizona, we have the new strain of the virus. Again, because of my situation health-wise, I pretty much have stayed isolated unless I have to go out for doctor's labs or dental work. And I've been doing dental work. Matter of fact, I got an upcoming appointment in March, another one. And I'm hoping they give me some Novocaine because when she went in there to clean it, it was horrible. Hoping it's not that expensive. But I got an upcoming one in March. So I'll be going through that journey, doing that. What I wanted to kind of talk about is storing and prepping. And I'm going to say this for those of you who are in households, and even if you're truckers, like I said, I have a Christian trucker lady on my trucking channel. She's doing storage. She bought herself a storage unit, or she has a storage unit, and she's been stocking food in the storage because she lives off her truck. And she's been stocking food inside of the storage unit, which I really consider, guys, you need to have a good stock of food. When we look at the grand scheme of things, who were better off? These people that we consider the weird preppers who had 18,000 things of toilet paper. Honestly, I had about, I'm going to say, a 2-month supply of toilet paper here in my house. Every time I went to the grocery store, I bought toilet paper. And it just happened to be that when I went to go get my glasses, to get a glass, because I knew my reading was starting to change. Things were being blurry up close. I needed to get a new prescription, and I need to go back and I want to just get some plain reading glasses. And then I want to get my eyes checked again. But when I went to do my prescription, we were near the Costco. And Costco was inside of one of our malls over here. Unfortunately, they've closed that because freaking mall, they went up and tried to raise a rent, and I find out they closed them down. But I went in there and I bought bulk supply of toilet paper. And I'm happy I did. I didn't, I would say the Lord knows the end from the beginning. So sometimes we're unctioned to do something without understanding the full why. I like Costco toilet paper. So I had bought bulk of it. I had that in there, and then I had, every so often I would go over to Family Dollar when I would do my laundry, and I'd buy toilet paper there. So I had a good month's supply. By the time I broke into the Costco toilet paper, we were in probably month 2 of the lockdowns, or where they wanted us to be locked down. And in month 2 of the lockdown, I I had enough toilet paper, but I knew I was going to be running low. I had to return something to Walmart, not knowing all the details of the pandemic. And, we shopped and I went in there, I was wearing masks before they ever talked about the mask. So I was wearing little painter's masks. And when I went into the Walmart, the line for the toilet paper was all the way back to automotive. And then the water line was close. So I got some bottled water, even though I had on order a water filtration pitcher. And I got that. Well, I got that. It took a while because they were back ordered because everybody was ordering water filtration pitcher, some little Asian water filtration pitcher. Eventually, I want to get a Berkey. But I had ordered the water filtration system because our water here off the tap is horrid. And I had ordered that. Got that, but I still, once I figured out about Instacart and I started having them deliver, I was able to have toilet paper, paper towel, water, all that delivered from Costco. And it changes your life. It's just a life-changing situation. And then whenever I'd go to Walmart, I started loading up on canned goods because I started having weird dreams about food. Now, I always had, I'm going to say, a good 3 to 6 months supply of canned goods anywhere I lived. And I'm going to tell you the Stephanie story, and then I'm going to get off of here and I'll blend everything together. Again, when these videos go up, guys, that's not necessarily when the videos are done. So this actually may go up a couple days after I do it because I'm going to piecemeal some stuff in. Stephanie story. Let me tell that story. So when I was in my 20s, I was living in Tempe, Arizona. And I think I was working for Sprint at the time. And Stephanie was one of my neighbors. She later became one of my real estate people. One of the houses I bought was through Stephanie, and she was a real estate lady. But Stephanie was a college student, a few years younger than me. Well, she's several years younger than me. And she was working over at Arizona State. She was going to school at Arizona State University, ASU. And the apartment complex I lived in was a bunch of college students. I was working. I was taking some college courses, but I wasn't like a full-time college student, and I was doing it through my job, so through Sprint. And I think some of the stuff I took was through University of Phoenix, even before I ever worked for University of Phoenix. And so Stephanie was one of my neighbors, and we all used to hang out. We'd go down to the jacuzzi or to the pool, and we all hang out. I was a lot thinner than y'all. Still overweight, but not maybe 50 pounds overweight, not like 300 pounds overweight. And so Stephanie, and she was over there. We all used to hang out. I could name even some of my friends that I hung out with. We all get out there, and I'd get down on the grill, and we'd get together, and we all just have a good old time. My next door neighbor was Maggie and Rad. Stephanie. I can't remember the guy who was downstairs from me. He had a basset hound named Norman, and Norman was funny because he would drag his butt over the speed bumps in the parking lot. It was funny. He was a basset hound. He was hilarious. And so Stephanie was in her apartment, and her apartment was diagonal to mine. We were both upstairs and diagonal to mine. And we were in Tempe, which is a college town. It's my home city. Stephanie is Italian and Asian mix. I don't know what her mom was. I don't know if her mom was Korean. I just know Asian and Italian. Her dad was Italian and her mom was Asian. And her dad was some muckety muck at GM because she's from Michigan. And Stephanie was funny. I used to call her Bean because she used to walk like, she was funny. So Stephanie was cool people, good people. Maggie and Rad, who were next door to me, they were Anglo. And the guy downstairs from me with Norman, he was Anglo, so Caucasian. Just cool people. We had a good time. It was a very diverse area. It was just a bunch of different type of people because SASU, it's college, We had a guy from India. I mean, we had everybody. Everybody in every nationality was represented up in our complex. Matter of fact, I think George, the guy who owned the complex and was he owned it, but he was a maintenance guy. He was cool. I think he might have been Middle Eastern. I can't remember. He was cool too. Middle Eastern or Greek, something like that. He was cool because I would be able to barbecue and he'd come talk to me. He'd be cool as hell. Anyway, fun. That was probably the funnest apartment complex I lived in. And so one morning afternoon, I'm up and I hear all this banging over at Stephanie's place. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Do you need help? I'm hungry. I said, you're hungry? I'm hungry. I said, okay, what are you doing? Trying to open this can. What the hell you open the can with? A hammer and a screwdriver. I said, girl, if you don't come over here and get this, I got some manual can openers. You can have one, dude. Oh my God, dude, I'm so hungry. And I said, so she came over and she started telling me she didn't have any money. So she'd have been partying. And her parents were comfortable, but she was in whatever money. I don't know if she's on a scholarship. I have no idea. But school was paid for. And whatever was going on with school, whatever she did with the money, she didn't use the money up. And I said, what is going on? She said, I ain't got no food. I only got a couple of cans of food and I'm hungry. I said, girl, bye. Go in the kitchen, look under the sink. So my rule was, if you come over, you needed food. And it's just, I treated you just like my family, like my grandmother. My mother would do the same thing. My grandfather would do the same thing. None of us had a problem with helping somebody out. And we never made you feel any way because life can happen to any of us. And so I said, girl, go in the kitchen, look under the sink, get some grocery bags. So she went under the sink. I said, here's the rules. You go in the freezer. If there's 2 or more items, take what you need, leave at least 1. I said the same thing with the canned items. I said, if there's only 1 item, you have to leave it and go for something else. When she got out of there, she had so much food. It wasn't even funny. Now, this was in her college days. Later on, after I moved, and I think we still kind of kept in contact. She graduated from ASU, and she had taken some flying lessons, and the guy she took lessons from, they started dating, and they ended up getting married. Well, he wanted to do more than just private planes, so he ended up going, I think they moved to Colorado for a minute, and they got married, and what else? They moved to Colorado, got married, and what did she do? She had graduated. She was got pregnant. Stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home mom, and she got a real estate license. Her mama had a real estate license too, and she ended up living in Colorado for a while he was finishing up more pilot training, and I think he became a pilot for UPS. I think. So they moved back here to Arizona, and she had a house in Ahwatukee that the mom and dad had, and I think they bought the house off of mom. And they moved into the house, but when they came back, she had come by my house. I hadn't seen her in a while, and I was living in an apartment before I worked with her to buy my house. I was living in this apartment, and when I moved into the apartment, I'm trying to think. I moved into the apartment. I can't remember how long it was before she moved. She came back, but she came back, and she had come by my house, told me she's back in town, and she came by my house. Well, I thought she was going to bring her husband and the baby. She did not. And so she came by herself, which, as I tell you the story, you'll understand why. So when Stephanie came by herself, she showed up at my house. Hey, dude, gave me a big old hug. I said, oh, my God, girl, I hadn't seen her, because I hadn't seen her in a while. I mean, I hadn't seen her in a long time. I mean, she's now married. She's got a baby. She's graduated from ASU. She's a real estate agent. She was between real estate and eBay. She was making some pretty decent money on the side, and then her husband was flying. So it kept her to where she could be at home. Y'all have to forgive me. The battery's running low. Hold on, y'all. The battery's running low. That should help. She could be at home with the baby, and take care of, and without having to pay, because daycare is expensive. If y'all, I don't have kids, but I do know daycare is expensive. Know plenty of people with kids. It's expensive, and my mother was a single mother for a while, so it was expensive back then. It's probably even more expensive now, and even during the time when Stephanie first had a little bit. So she stopped by my house. And I was like, hey, girl. She's like, well, you got to come by and have dinner with us and meet, her husband and the baby. And I said, girl, you could have brought him. But I didn't realize why she didn't bring him. So we're getting to that. So she said, we got in there, we talked and caught up for a few seconds. And she said, I don't have any food. And she says, we just got down here and we don't have a lot of money. We do have the house, and it doesn't, right now, it doesn't cost that much because we'll work with my mom and dad because we're buying it from them. She said, but our money is really, really tight, Shannon, from the move. I said, girl, you know how we do. Go on in the kitchen. Ain't nothing changed but the date. And so she went in there. I knew she didn't want her husband probably knowing what she was doing and that she came there to get food. But this is the reason I mentioned this story. So she went in there, the same rules applied. If there's one thing, leave it. If there's more than one, get what you need. And I said, get what you need. You know, you got 3 mouths to feed, get what you need. I'll be okay. Just leave at least one item. And if there's more than one item, if there's 3 chickens up in there, take 2. If there's, 4 cans of something, leave 1, take the 3. And those were my rules. So when if you guys, which I think you should, prep, please, 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 make sure you get more than sometimes what you think you need, because you don't know when you can be a blessing to someone else. And it could be a friend, it could be a family member. So when I decided to make this a more formal, focused journey than what I was, it was just haphazard before. It was just kind of standard. This time it has been more focused. I've actually focused more on the pantry, on organizing. The only thing I haven't done is counted what I had. And right now I'm not probably going to do that until I start filling in the gaps. Once I get all the gaps filled in, then I'm going to do a count. And then we'll start talking about how I do this now, because I'm more organized. Before it was just haphazard. It was coupons and when I went to the store. Well, now a lot of us are not either going to the store or having groceries delivered. So like I do some through Amazon. Amazon's generic line, I think, is Happy Belly or something like that. Something Belly. And I have some Amazon stuff. Greater Value is Walmart. Kroger's is Kroger. Safeway, I forgot what Safeway's generic is. Safeway, which is Albertsons, United, Market Street, and I forgot who else. They have other chains that's part of them. They have their own, I forgot what Signature Select, I think, is their line. They're generic, so I use some of that, but there's some stuff that I realize I'm name brand on. So like Chef Boyardee is a good, and I hadn't had that since I was a kid, but it's a good stocking staple. It has meat, it has pasta, it has sauce, it's filling. You can eat it right from the can in case of an emergency. And like I have a best friend who's in Florida, which I talk about when they hit the hurricane season, and that powers out for a while. Flooding, storms, whatever that happen, you could just bust one of those cans open and eat straight from the can. So a lot of your food in cans and jars is edible from the can and jars, maybe not the potatoes. Potatoes you probably have to cook. And we're going to talk about having alternative cooking sources, because I haven't ordered it yet. I keep putting it off, and I have other stuff I've been doing, but I'm going to order it's a butane propane cooktop. So I'm going to be ordering one of those like you use for camping in case of emergency. I have candles. I need to get more batteries in the house. But being prepared in case of emergency. Imagine the people right now who are out of work, but even though they have the eviction moratorium where they won't get evicted, or the house they can't be kicked out of their home right now. Imagine those people. They have beautiful homes and nice cars. They got no food. Because similar to how my biological father is, how Grumpy is, he always eats out. So if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no food. And unfortunately, some of them ain't have food, and they're standing in food lines, and the food banks are overwhelmed. I volunteered for work at food banks. And I volunteered, and I've used food banks before. We used to have a church, and we would do food boxes. And then you could also, here in Arizona, we used to be the St. Mary's was one of our main ones. You could actually buy the food boxes. And some people may say, that's weird. Not at all. Because what they would do is if they had an oversupply, they would box it up, and you could give them, like, I think the meat box back in the day which is how I kept my freezer full for a little bit. The meat box was like 25 or 35, 25 bucks, I think. And a food box was $10 or $15, and you got almost double or triple the amount of that. What you would get in those boxes was, if you went into a grocery store, it would cost you 50 to 60 bucks. The meat box, you would get almost double or triple the value of meat. And the meat was donated. So it helped them raise capital for other bills. And so while they gave out food, if they had an excess, which back in the day they did, it was a way for them to raise capital to take care of other finances at the food bank. And so it was kind of cool, because you could just give them $25 for a meat box. I think $15 for a food box, and your food box had maybe bread, tortillas, canned goods, dry beans and rice. It might have even had some vegetables, fresh vegetables and fruits like apples and celery and lettuce, potatoes, carrots, standard food staples that a house would have. So I used to do that, and that was how I used to keep some of my supply up. And then I was a big coupon sale shopper. Coupons now, sale shopping, kind of up and down, but you can still do some stuff. So we'll get into more of that here on the channel. Like I said, channel's going to go a little bit different route, but hopefully it will bless you and help you. And like I said, this video is probably going to go up here in the next day or so. But it's something I wanted to, I got to come and cut the hairs again. Something I know I keep it short because this is the receiving part, but something I wanted to show you guys as far as what I'm doing, and just even trying to organize in such a small space, especially that kitchen. The kitchen is so small. And my bathroom's not that big either. So like I don't have a lot of linen storage space. I'm working on that too. But I'll show you some of the hallway storage as I get through sections. So right now I've been getting back on my game of working on sections, and then also kind of planning out stuff. So anyway, y'all, I hope you're blessed and be safe. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share it. Please subscribe, and also hit the notification bells, because I know some of y'all want to be on the lives. We do not have a live this Sunday, which is, I don't know, it's this Sunday coming up, because this is done sometime this week. So this Sunday coming up, we will not have a live by the time this video is posted. So whatever Sunday, won't have a live that one, but the following Sunday we'll have a live. And I post on the community board, and I'll post up the live. If you guys have any topics, let me know. I'll also be doing an interview with Trucker Bill. Like I said, the focus of the channel is not really trucking anymore, but I may occasionally have some trucking content. I want to thank you for the growth on this channel, because we're almost at 2,000. And thank you for the growth on the Trucker 411 Facebook. Y'all are coming over there, for those I think who saw it back when it was more trucking. And I think I'm going to talk to Jay about probably running that page a little bit more on the Trucker 411. We'll try to get more content up. I still follow some like the CDL Life and Overdrive, and I'll see if we can start putting some news articles in there for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys are blessed and safe. Cooking videos, I'll be doing more of those. I think I'll be showing you in here the attached video. I'll be showing you tomatillos. So I'll be making some chili, or chile, however you want to say it. And I'll be doing the tomatillos. I got to roast them and put them in either air fryer oven or both. And I'll put some jalapenos and onions, and then we'll get the blender and blend them up and put them in a jar. And that'll be a little sauce that we're doing. Joe's mom used to make her own, and I realize Latino families, a lot of times y'all make your own salsa and sauces. And so I've been lazy and buying mine across the counter lately, because I don't have all the stuff that I used to have. Like I used to like mine fire roasted on a grill. I don't have a grill yet. I'll be looking at getting one here in the very near future. And we'll be doing some grilling on it here soon. We're going to be out in that garden here soon as well. But you guys, probably in the next week or so, because I want to try, like I said, I want to get a cool weather crop in as soon as possible. Anyway, peace, joy, happiness, 2 and 2. Be blessed. Peace. All right, guys, I'm going to give y'all a little tour of my kitchen problems. So, as y'all know, I told you I prep. This is water. All of these are from Kirkland, which is Costco. That's my little refrigerator freezer that was on one of my trucks. And then that's one of my, the top microwave is from one of my trucks. The bottom one is one I had at an old apartment. This is the baker's rack, and I got a bunch of junk in front that I got to go through. Y'all can see I got to put new foil on the little toaster oven. And up here, oh, I got a cup there. I need to move that cup. This is when I told y'all I had a lot of spices. That's just some of my spices. I told y'all I'm a flavor person. This used to be one of my major prep racks, but I've moved the stuff here, and here was all canned goods. All those have pretty much moved back into the room or into the hallway shelf. And I got 2 of these black shelves. This one's from Walmart, and I have another one from Walmart. I had a third one that was silver It was $6 cheaper, y'all, and I shouldn't have got it. I should have only paid the $6 and got another one because the silver one is a piece of crap. It's working, but it's bulging, and it's metal like this. This is industrial shelves. Those shelves should be $350 each shelf, 350 pounds to 500 pounds depending. This is the middle little island in the kitchen, and I don't like how this cabinet is made, but you can see I do a stock supply down here as well. I would have preferred that to come out, so the way this is not actually all that great. So I've got some trying to work out stuff. I gotta do dishes, but here's the kitchen. If y'all see that little thing hanging, because there's a back door here, right against these walls is 2 dirt areas, and I get gnats. And so they not all the time, but periodically. So that's like a little fly trap I put over the sink. I came up with my own little creation. I don't use this upper cabinet. There's one above the refrigerator. I don't use it. I do use the lower cabinets. Now in the corner, and y'all can see I'm gotta clean up dishes because I was working on the stove. So I pulled stuff out the refrigerator, so I gotta wash. In the corner, I put this little shelf in because that cabinet door right there does not open, and if it did, it wouldn't work because it's in between the stove, and they put it on backwards. Probably after I thought about it, they put it on backwards because it doesn't work. The drawer works at the top, but I don't keep much in there, so I can roll it out because I put wheels on it. Under the kitchen, cabinet stuff under the kitchen. So, and this is my bowl area, which I'm gonna end up changing that. That's a collapsible dish drainer. And then I washed tomatillos. We're going to be making chili. And then I don't use much of these cabinets because I'm too short to really see up there. And I'm not climbing up on stuff because I fractured an ankle once. I don't use that cabinet either. It's too high to see anything. So that's pretty much. All right, guys. I just want to show you some of my food prep. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to tell you the Stephanie story, which I probably told you at the beginning. Those are the bags. I still got to work on the black bags. So this is what I moved from the kitchen storage unit. And then down below, I have some opening area. And I'm still organizing this room, as you can see. That's from the move. So I'm still organizing. I got to get in this closet. That's going to be my next work. If you see, my finger's in the way. If you see those bins right there, there's 2 next to each other. And those are some pictures on top of it. And that's the ironing board. But those bins, actually, the bottom one has, I think, 25 pounds of beans. 35 pounds of beans, 25 or 35 pounds of beans, and 25 and 35 pounds of rice. And then I have another rice here because they were a really good deal through Costco. So I have 2 rice, and then I have the canned goods, and you can see where I need to fill in the gaps. So we'll talk about gaps. And this is a kind of a food prep video and the why behind it. And also when I do these videos, they may not be posted the day I do them. It might be a few days later, and this one is probably gonna be posted a few days later. Peace. Okay, also guys, remember I told y'all I had gotten, this is the tripod, but I had gotten a holder. So I needed a holder, I'm shaking. I needed a holder that would hold my phone with the OtterBox on. So this is the holder I got. It is metal. I don't know if any part of this is plastic at all. And it just sits on the tripod mount. We'll talk about that here in a minute as well.